Hello guys, welcome to my channel. The less is more. So today we will discuss an editorial from Indian Express and the topic is nutrition and the title is Nutrition in a Warmer World. Okay. So let's start the editorial directly. At the Hiroshima Summit 2023, the G7 nations stressed that the peak of global greenhouse gas emissions should be reached by 2025. They also committed to an acceleration agenda for G7 countries to reach net zero emission by around 2040 and urged emerging economies to do so by around 2050. China is committed to net zero by 2060 and India 2070 by net zero. However, emerging trends in climate change may not give humanity the luxury of being too late. Right, so it will not give luxury of being too late. Severe costs are likely to be inflicted in terms of human lives and livelihoods, especially for those working in the agriculture sector. With every 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature compared to pre-industrial levels, India has the largest workforce engaged in agriculture, that is 45.6% workforce engaged in agriculture, among whom G20 countries. Okay, the impact of climate change, largest workforce. Impact of climate change may disproportionate for India. So how would be the impact? Maybe disproportionate, and it would have severe cost in terms of human lives and livelihoods. Okay, working in agriculture. Why? Because India has the largest workforce in agriculture. Okay, there is a renewed urgency in this matter. Renewed urgency, as the WMO has forecast that global near surface temperature are likely to increase by 1.1 degrees Celsius to 1.8 degrees Celsius annually from 2023 to 2027. What would be 1.1 degree Celsius global near surface temperature to 1.8 degrees Celsius? Okay, it also anticipates, so this might be the condition, this is the fact. Okay, that it might be possible. It also anticipates that temperature will exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels for at least 1 year within this period. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, India is experienced its 5th hottest year on record in 2022. So this is fact 1, fact 2, fact 3. For what? Showing that greenhouse emission is increasing and climate change is also affecting. Against this backdrop, this is the impact that 5th hottest year it is due to this increase. So this is fact and this is implication. Against this backdrop, that Indian agriculture faces a double whammy. It faces double whammy. Not only does it have to feed the largest population, 1.42 billion in 2020 and 1.67 billion by 2050. It has to do so while contending with the increasing vagaries of nature. What is challenges before agriculture? That is feeding largest population, and not just feeding, but among feeding population, but it has to do so with the increasing vagaries of nature. While India's grain production gives some comfort, the nutrition challenge remains. So the food security might be achieved, but what would be remain? Nutritional security. Okay, so India's grain production is 330 million ton in 2022-23. So this gives some comfort, but nutritional challenges. What can Indian policymakers do? The probable answer lies in focusing on agriculture research. There is R&D, development, education and extension. Right. Extension means Krishi Vigyan Kendra's extension service. Research at ICRIR indicates that investing in Agri-R&D yields much greater returns, 11.2% return on R&D in agriculture, compared to every rupee spent on, say, the fertilizer subsidy 0.88, power subsidy 0.79, education 0.97 and road 1.10. So this is the return on investment on sector, that is fertilizer subsidy, power subsidy, education, roads. But compared to this, the agriculture yields more returns on spending R&D on agriculture, that is 11.2. Thus, increased emphasis on ARDE can help achieve higher agriculture production even in the face of climate change. ARDE is critical for improving resource use efficiency, especially for natural resources such as soil, water and air. How crucial for improving natural resource? The development of seeds that are more heat resistant is already a reality. Development of seeds that are more heat resistant is already a reality. So this has been done. Heat resistant seeds. Precision agriculture such as drip irrigation can result in large water savings. Implementing so guys, see, these are the solutions. What? Heat resistance, precision agriculture, implementing sensor based irrigation system, for example, enables automated control, improving resource use efficiency. Then fertigation and development of nano fertilizers can not only save on the fertilizer subsidy but also reduce what? Carbon footprint. Implementing such innovative farming practices and or products will help more efficient use of water and other natural resources, resulting in higher output with fewer inputs. High output with fewer input, while lowering greenhouse gas emission. Research at the Barlog Institute of South Asia shows that mulching not only contributes to higher soil organic carbon, but also saves on water and reduce greenhouse gas emission. What? Mulching. Do what? Higher contributes to higher soil organic carbon and water and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Scaling up such experiments is critical, and that's where one needs larger allocation of funds. So scaling up such kind of experiment is critical, but what needs larger allocation of fund. Our analysis of ARDE since 2005 to 6 reveals that although in absolute terms the total expenditure has increased from 39.6 billion in the triennium ending in 2008 to 163 billion in TE triennium ending 2020, the research intensity as a percentage of agri GDP has experienced an upswing from 0.55% in 2005-06 to its peak of 0.70% in 2010-11 before declining to 0.48% in 2019-20. Okay. When examining the allocation of ARDE by sector, it becomes evident that there is a skewed distribution towards the crop husbandry sector. So, examining the allocation of ARDE by sector, it becomes evident that there is a skewed distribution towards the crop husbandry sector, whose relative shares has marginally increased from 75% to 76%. So, there is a skewed distribution, okay, towards crop husbandry. Between 2008 and 2020, In contrast, the shares for soil, water conservation and forestry have declined from 5 to 2%. The shares for animal husbandry, dairy development and fisheries sector have decreased from 11 to 8, despite the value of livestock having substantially increased in the overall value of agri-produce. This imbalance needs urgent correction, especially because much, that is 54% of greenhouse gas emission within agriculture come from the livestock sector. So, livestock sector contributes to more greenhouse gas emission. Okay. So this needs what? Urgent correction, because this is the facts that the soil, water conservation, forestry declined from 5 to 2%, that spent allocation. Then dairy development, animal husbandry 11 to 8. Okay. This imbalance needs what? Urgent correction. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that despite the expenditure on ARD, the overall RI in agriculture falls short of the target of 1% of the agricultural gross value added. So, it is crucial to acknowledge that despite the expenditure on ARD, the overall RI, that is research intensity in agriculture, falls short of the target of 1% of the agricultural gross value added recommended by Government of India as well as the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. To accomplish this, India needs to almost double its budgetary allocation for ARD. So, for 1% of GDP spent on R&D in agriculture, for that we have to double its budgetary allocation, that is India. In this context, if the union government can reduce its fertilizer subsidy and state governments their power subsidy and redirect those savings to Agri-R&D, ensuring research intensity to be at least 1%, the result would be much better in terms of food and nutritional security in the face of climate change. So, what needs to be done? Reduce fertilizer subsidy and power subsidy. But this requires what? Political courage and innovative policies that ensures farmers' incomes go up during the realignment phase. Along with the substantial increase in the budget for ARD, one needs to realign not just expenditure but also realign what? Expenditure as well as policies such as fertilizer and power subsidy towards meeting the climate change challenge. Livestock has been growing at more than double the rate of cereal sector, as is horticulture. But our policies and programs are stuck with the legacy of basic staples, like rice and wheat. This needs to change to give us better nutrition and less greenhouse gas emission. It will give to get better nutrition and less greenhouse gas emission. Okay. So this was today in the editorial. Okay. Facts and some solutions, and focus on ARDE, that is agriculture research development education and extension. Okay. That need to be focused upon. Okay. ARDE is critical. Okay. And there are some solutions which have been harnessed through ARDE, right? And other solutions by reducing subsidies, these fertilizer and power subsidy. Okay. And focus more on livestock. Okay, because that sector is increasing twice of the this rice and wheat sector, right? Cereals. So that is what more important in this editorial. So policy needs to be aligned with livestock sector, horticulture, and reduce subsidies, and align it with more research and development and education and extension. Okay. Agriculture research, because agriculture research, that is our Agri-R&D spend. The rupees spent on Agri-R&D gives 11.2% return. Then roads, education and fertilizer subsidies give. Okay, so thank you guys, this was for today. Bye bye, signing off for